விண்டோக்கு வந்துட்டேன் மீட்டிங் விண்டோ.
இப்போ இதுலயே இப்போ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா இன்ஸ்டால்டுன்னு அர்த்தமா அது?
ஆமா ஆமா, இதுல வந்துடும். நீங்க உங்களத மியூட் பண்ணுங்க, உங்களத மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. அப்புறம் உங்க வீடியோவையும் ஸ்டாப் வீடியோ போட்டுக்கோங்க. So when they are ready it will be there.
இத மியூட் போட்டு ஆஃப்
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Lakshminarayanan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. You have to unmute. No problem. How are you, sir?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you? How are you?
Fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our platform and accepting our invitation to deliver today's webinar. Thank you so much. I requested our Swami, our Gopal Swami also to join today. Gopal Swami, sir.
1 minute.
Yeah.
One minute. On the speaker.
I requested Gopal Swami, sir, to join today.
He told me just now.
Yeah. Okay. Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Samida, sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Balakrishnan, good evening.
Yeah. Screen full available. Screen. I have a right side. Either pull up. அதை பண்ணா வந்துருமா? Sure. Okay. Yes, you will. Light or pacha light. Vasu is started. Pacha light on the 10 second, 20 second. The PowerPoint எனக்கு மட்டும்தான் தெரியும், அவளுக்கு தெரியாது இல்லையா? இல்ல PowerPoint அவளுக்கு தெரியுமா? ஷேர் பண்ண போறோம், பார்ப்போம். ஏய் பிரபா, நீங்க ஏதாவது பேசணும்னா இது பண்ணிட்டு நீ தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம்.
Hello, Selvaraj sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Madhuramani, sir. Welcome.
Okay, welcome. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Have you started the meeting, sir?
What, sir?
Have you started the meeting?
No. Yet to start. Yet to start. Yeah, we are waiting.
Okay.
Normally, we use 5:30 is the time. We'll wait for people are joining. We'll wait for 5 more minutes. 5:30 we will start.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Gopal sir, good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you, joining. You have to unmute. You have to unmute your mic. Sir has to unmute his mic. Gopal sir, you have to unmute your mic and talk.
Now are you able to hear me?
Yeah, now we are able to hear your voice. Thank you for joining. Thank you. We are very happy to see you, your face. Our Samida sir also joined today. Yeah, Samida sir is by your side.
Oh, acha, very good, very good. So how are things otherwise?
Yeah,
All fine?
nice, very nice. It is going from, it is today is 115th program in webinar, online mode, after the pandemic. So we are roaming. Yeah, we are roaming experts all over the world. It is the advantage of this virtual.
Very good.
Also, people can attend from all over the world.
No, our Lakshminarayanan will keep all of you busy.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. Now Samida sir is calling you.
Oh, how are you?
No, he has gone out. Yeah, now he's coming again.
Acha.
Suresh Kumar sir, welcome.
Samidas has come.
Yeah. He is coming regularly. He is coming.
The great Samidas has come. Good evening, Samidas.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Suraj sir, good evening.
Yes, sir. Welcome,
Oh,
Suresh
how are
Kumar
you,
sir.
sir?
Welcome. Good evening.
Nice you called for this.
Yeah. We want you are very happy to see your face.
Yeah.
Screen.
I am not so charming, yeah.
It is your topic, sir. You are only behind the scene. Your topic.
When are we starting the meeting? 5:30?
Yeah, another 3 minutes. People are joining. Another 3 minutes. 5:35 will start. Sir. Then people will.
Selvaraj.
5:30 will join.
Selvaraj.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
How are you, sir?
Do you remember we had a production engineering convention at Trichy Local Center?
Yeah, I remember. Sir came on the 24th building. 4th floor he came. He said, good morning. Why people are not responding? In TQM answered, all of you respond like that. I remember that word.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. 24th, I attended production conference.
That is TQM, I said.
Yeah. When people are quiet, you call. Why you are not responding? You say good morning.
Sir, Samidas is hiding himself.
No, he's there.
You will hear a very good mining address now.
No, sir. Illumination is not proper in the room.
Illumination. Mine.
No. He is telling.
Mine.
It is very clear.
His photography illumination is poor like this.
Achha. But it's very clear here.
Yeah. For you it's clear. Your face is very clear. Background is clear. For you lighting at all good. It seems. Only thing the light has to be focused on the behind the screen. Then only it will be.
Laptop, yeah.
Yeah. If it is behind, will be dark.
Achha.
Both of you, Gopal Swami sir as well as Lakshminarayanan sir, both are bright today. Your background is very good.
No, I am so happy that you have taken me back about 30 years.
My aim is to bring you today inside the screen. So that has happened. Thank you so much.
No, actually, world is really interesting. The past life.
Okay.
Very interesting life. Good, very good.
Yeah, we attended a lot of programs in when we were there in Dalmiapuram. We attended many programs.
Yeah, yeah. You have been visiting us.
Everybody we came. Actually. I
Number of
remember
times
those
you
days.
have-
Yeah, yeah.
No, Dalmia life is different.
Okay, okay. So you took Velayam to Rockport until
my God,
we
fantastic.
remember those things. Yes, sir. We will start. The time is 5:35. We will start. Other people will join. Okay.
Can join.
Yes, sir.
Let us start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy good evening to everyone. Yeah. Happy good evening to everyone. Today we had an interesting webinar about that is a mining past, present, and future, which is going to be delivered and a mining expert, industry expert, engineer Er.S.Lakshminarayanan, former general manager mines, Dalmia Cement Bharat Ltd. Dalmiapuram Tamilnadu. So first of all, we thank you from Untitled Local Center. Thank you, sir, for accepting invitation to deliver webinar today about mining. And I especially thank our past chairman, engineer Er.S.Lakshminarayanan, sir, former our past chairman as Institute of Engineers Local Center, as well as former director of Dalmia Cements Bharat Limited. Thank you, sir, for arranging an excellent lecture today. Thank you so much for taking effort to arrange this lecture.
Wow, so kind of you.
Yeah, thank you. And today's program, Indian Institute of Welding, Tichinapalli branch, Indian Institute of Metal, Tichinapalli chapter, the Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering, Tichinapalli chapter are joining, associating with this with the Institute of Engineers Tichinapalli Local Center. I welcome all of them. We IEA Tichinapalli Local Center conduct weekly technical program for the past 3 decades. We are the role model to all the 10 active professional institutions campus in our BHL campus. Before the pandemic, it was in physical mode, which was conducted in Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Hall, AC Hall of IEA Tichinapalli Local Center, which is situated in 3,000 acres of our BHL campus, which was given by the great late Chief Minister Sri Kamaraj. After the pandemic, we switched over to virtual mode, and today is the 115th program. So, with this small introduction, I call upon our past chairman, Engineer Gopalasamy sir, to give president's address and welcome the gathering, sir. Over to Engineer Gopalasamy sir.
Pardon?
Yeah, you have to welcome the, you address the welcome address, sir. Your
Presidential address.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, first of all, I must thank Mr. Selvaraj for having forced me to come for this meeting, literally. But however, the lecture on mining will be very interesting. I have gone through his just leaflet which he sent me. Really past, present and future of mining is fantastic. Of course, I have gone through this mining industry with in close contact with Mr. Lakshminarayanan, and limestone reserves, those days it used to be said the life should be at least about 30 years or so. Lakshminarayanan, is it okay? About 30 years, I think.
Yes.
But later on, it has to go to 50 years or 55 years and all that. And limestone, one of the major material for cement, is depleting fast. And it is absolutely essential to see how best we preserve this ore and how best we can literally mine the ore for future, and how economically we can use it. All these things Mr. Lakshminarayanan has covered in his speech. I am sure this will be a very interesting talk and also will contribute a lot to the mining industry. Thank you, Mr. Lakshminarayanan, for having accepted, and welcome every one of you for this interesting lecture. Thank you.
I thank our past chairman, Engineer Gopalasamy sir, for arranging this special lecture. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, when we gone through our yearly program, we missed some of the areas. In mining area was left, marine area was left, then metallurgy area, some 5 areas were left. So out of which only I sought your help. Immediately you came for help. Thank you so much for arranging, and thank you for delivering the president's address, also welcoming the gathering. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now moving on to the next agenda, I call upon Engineer G. Madhuramani, the chairman of Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering, Trichy chapter, to introduce the speaker to the audience. Over to Engineer Madhuramani, sir. Madhuramani, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Oh,
So, Industrial Engineering Department, we are very thankful to Sri Gopal Swami sir. He played a vital role in promoting IE activities during 80s in BHL Trichy. Special thanks to
Thank you.
the director Dalmia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, so I am introducing Sri Lakshminarayanan sir. His date of birth is 18/7/1937. He is a very senior most person. So his qualification is MSc in Geology from Annamala University, possessing first class mine manager certificate issued by Director General of Mines Safety, Dhanbad. He is having good experience in Ramco Cements, Ramsamy Raja Nagar from 1963 to 1977 as geologist and as deputy mine superintendent. Later, he moved to Cholamandalam Fertilizer Cement Division as geologist and deputy manager mines from 1977 to 1980. Again, he moved to Dalmia Cements Limited, Dalmiapuram. He worked there from 1980 to 1999 and retired as general manager. He is having specialization in mineral exploration, mining, and water exploration. Done extensive water exploration works in Kadapa district. With this, I am handing over the session to Selvaraj sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madharamani sir, for a nice introduction of our today's chief guest and speaker of the day, Engineer Lakshminarayanan Subramanian. And now the platform is open to Engineer Lakshminarayanan sir. You can start presenting, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening to all members of the institution. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to talk in your association. And I thank Mr. Gopal Swami for giving this opportunity to prepare this and talk to you all. Thank you very much. See, the contents, see, the introduction, preamble, mining methods, exploration, mining past, mining present, mining future, and conclusion. The introduction, I have taken this mining because the mining is a very big subject. It is in India, Indian context. It is started from from ancient times, from Vedic period, and I have taken it at different stages. So Vedic period to 1900 to 2000, 2000 to 2030 and future. This is the way I have divided it, and that's a preamble. I'll go now to the preamble. How was the mining in India during ancient times? How did it develop by 21st century? What is the status of mining in the future? In Rigveda time, that is 1500 to 2000 BCE, use of metals like copper, lead, zinc, and its alloys, gold, silver, tin, mercury, and different gemstones is documented. This, you will be surprised to see that Kautilya Arthashastra also mentions, even though it's a political science, it explains about the mines, metallurgy, and management of mines. Then, apart from that, the Panini's Ashtadhyayi, it is a 5th century BCE literature, which is basically for the Sanskrit grammar. It also mentions about the Vaidurya from Salem district, Beryl from Coimbatore, and other minerals. That Harappa civilization of 5th to 2nd century BCE, Nandas and Maurya's period, document of mining and metallurgy, and mentions zinc mines at Zawar, 5th century. And from Zawar, the Greeks took mine ore from these mines. In this, the Iron Ages start in India in 1200 BCE, mine from Karnataka, Rajasthan, West Bengal, and Bihar. The interesting, these things, they have developed such a metallurgy in Ashok pillar, that is 375 to 413 BCE, is made up of wrought iron 0.15%, phosphorus 0.25%, low manganese 0.05%, and sulfur 0.005%. It is still the proof of our Indian metallurgy in those developed in those years, ancient time, and it is standing proof even still standing today in Delhi. That charcoal was the main fuel used for metallurgical purpose operations. In those days, they don't know much because it was started from yeast. They have not used charcoal, they have not introduced any charcoal in that area. The use of granite, marble, sandstone, that gap growth was called black granite, started from the construction of temples from 1000 BC. The exploitation of granite was done 1000 years back. The standing example is the Tanjore temple. But the marble, sandstone, other things are used in these areas in Rajasthan, sandstone in Odisha and other places where it is available in abundant area. The black granite is used mainly for temple constructions and the gods in the making of gods statues. The finest example of black granite you can see in Tiruvannamalai, this Agilandesi temple, Sanctum Sanctorum. It is completely made of a gap-dough, which is hand polished. This is a standing example of those things. India supplied diamond to the entire world in the Median period, and 12 carat was mined, 12,000 crore carats were mined, and 16,000 people were employed for this mine in those days. Gold mine continued from the ancient time. It is more than about 1,600 years. That is especially from Hatti gold mines. They have gone to the depth of in those days, about 1,200 feet. In the 19th century, Hatti gold mines is the largest supplier of small gold mines. Then I am going to the mining methods. Just as a brief, these mining methods include open cast mining, surface mining, which is mainly done for coal, non-metallic minerals, and minor metals. The underground mines is only considered in those days, earlier days, for coal, metallic minerals, and gold. Still, some of the coal mines, which are the coal seams are very thin, it is done by underground mines and manually. Other major coal mines are by open cast mines. They are producing some millions of tons per annum. Open cast and underground coal mines also there. Coal and metallic mines are underground mines. This is called the placer mines. That is, the gold is some atomic minerals which are washed away by river and other things. They are collecting the gold. Some of the atomic minerals, you can see that in Kerala coast. You can see a lot of thorium and other things. In situ mining, that is uranium, what they do, in situ they used to pass some solutions and make it as a solution and pump it, then they separate the uranium. Seabed mining in the metallic minerals, it is not yet started now, but they have identified a lot of nodules, metallic nodules, into the continental shelf of Indian continent. Then I have given only a sketch figures of the different types of mining in this plate, open cast, underground. In some of the areas, they have opened the open cast, then they will go, when the mineral content is coming down, they will go for underground mines. Then mineral exploration. See, in the early 20th century, the exploration was done by geological mapping and identification of minerals and ores seen on the surface, mainly on that. This GSA started in 1851 by Thomas Holam, which was at the infant stage. In 1905, only 6 geologists were present to explore the entire Indian subcontinent. It grew up to 150 geologists by 1950 and to 2000 at the end of this century. In the early days, the geologists trained local people in identifying minerals, explored the surface. For example, in Arilur area, if you go to gypsum mines, they used to call it as Tannikal. So they have given the local name for that, and they used to do that. GSI expanded in the second half of the century, giving importance to exploration, later expanded different branches of exploration. In the early 20th century, only 10 minerals were known. After introducing remote sensing, etc., more than 80 minerals were discovered. In this period, Earth Resource Satellite was launched by NASA in 1972, visual and multi-spread scanning to understand geological and tectonic features as well as inaccessible terrain. Geophysics, airborne and ground physical survey, magnetic survey, swings, dip needles for iron ore exploration, Euromagnetic map to interpret geological map, sulfide metals, induced polarization survey, gravity seismic survey for subsurface geological structures, oil-bearing structures, buried deposits of coal, varieties, chromite, volcanic plug, post rock for diamonds. Borehole geophysics. Geophysical logging, gamma and neutron chemistry, geochemistry was developed between 1833 and 1955, used in determining elemental distribution, different crystal structures, effect of temperature, absolute and partial pressure in the formation of the mineral phases. Development of sophisticated instruments like emission spectrograph, atomic absorption spectrometer, flame photometer, X-ray fluorescence spectrometer, the analysis of large number of elements occurring even at ppb level. Drilling. Direct tool for mineral exploration in 1950, only percussion drilling was used, which was slow and with limited depth penetration. Recent developments of rotary drilling is to drill up to 20 kilometers in depth as well as the seabed. So the drilling, we have to use different types of drilling for different minerals. Some of the minerals are soft, some of the minerals are hard, some of the minerals are powder, just like iron ore occurring in Goa. So we have to use the different type of drilling so that we have to get the core, to get the analysis and to get the correct chemical composition of this material. Then marine exploration, developed since 1960 to discover manganese nodules containing copper, nickel, cadmium, etc. Now, the marine exploration is doing a fantastic work in India. Deposit modeling. The end of 20th century experienced an information explosion processing through the statistics and computers are used in geology and mineral exploration. Deposit modeling is based on the study of known deposits for the prediction of favorable geological setup for mineral deposits. Due to these exploration techniques, large quantities of mineral deposits, oil-bearing structures are found. Gravity and seismic surveys identify they found in much deeper location because of it penetration. Other geophysical methods were only up to 150 to 200 meters. I have given, incidentally, I have given some plant indicators for minerals, which is used in those for previous years, ancient times, as well as in some foreign countries. They have developed this to identify some of the surface-borne, these minerals. When I had been to Karnataka for an exploration of limestone, I found chromite. The villagers told me in chromite area, the curvaceous will grow very fast and in very thick forest you can find. Like this, they have used it in even Europe for their plant indicators. And apart from that, I heard from the Dowsing Society of England that they are using mainly, that they are using dowsing for so many purposes, and including mainly they are used for water divining. I came to know they have done the dowsing for minerals also in those days. This British Society of Dowsers, founded in 1930. There is also an American Society of Dowsers, which can be contacted at PO Box number 24, Branch Street, Danville, Vermont. Mining past. Why I have taken this 1900 to 2000 AD as mining past? Because before the independence, it was not much, their activity, the tourism was much encouraging except coal, limestone, metallic minerals, copper, zinc, precious metals like gold, silver, etc. So that in those days, up to 1900, the mineral exploration was not confined much only to these minerals, and the gold was mined. Even the before 1900, 1850, the Nizam has done some development in Hatti gold mines, and they have done some about 80, 90 feet these things in those days gold minings. Then land use in mining. In the total geographical land, out of 305 million hectares only, that is 0.7 million hectares land was used for non-coal minerals, and 0.36 million hectares for coal. And coal was covered, most of them were covered by forest. Before independence, annual production was only for rupees only 0.58 billion. The country was depending on copper, lead, zinc, petroleum, sulfur, graphite, coal, iron ore, chromite, bauxite, and manganese. The mining industry is in general as a momentum, gained momentum only after independence in the second half of the century. India has produced about 84 minerals and 4 fuels and 11 metallics, 949 non-metallic industrial minerals, and 20 minor minerals apart from oil and gas. In all, 3,100 mines produced coal, lignite, limestone, iron ore, copper, lead, zinc, etc. 80% of mineral production were by open pit excavations. I have given the table which you can see the present mineral outlook. The reserve position of mineral chart of India. This achievement of mineral exploration in the post-independence period is reflected in the augmentation of the reserve, which is given in table. The present-day resource scenario can be summarized as follows: self-sufficient group, iron ore, power, coal, bauxite, varieties, mica, chromite, China clay, cement grade limestone, and dolomite. Some of the marginal minerals are base metals. Especially base metals is very, very low in India. Metallurgical coal, manganese, kyanite, silverite, magnesite, which is low silica, fire clay, that is high clay, non-plastic, flux grade limestone with low silica. Deficit is phosphorite. Poor or non-existent is potash, tungsten, tin, platinum, molybdenum, nickel, cobalt. This is I have given in the chart all the production, all the mineral reserves in three decades, reserves in million tons. It is more or less a self-explanatory. So in 9.244 mining leases spread over 21 states on about 13,000 mineral deposits. Fuel minerals accounted for 80%, solid fuel 44%, liquid and gaseous 32%, metallic metals 8%, non-metallic metals 4%, minor minerals 6% of mining. The exploration of granite started after 1980, when its export potential was known. In early 60s, only black granite mining was done due to export demands. In those days, Japan were importing lot of black granite especially from South India near Dindivanam. They used to get it for the monuments. Then only the export potential of did things. Now after that, slowly it developed for house constructions and other things. So it has exploded at anything. The export demand also. Then I am giving the mineral potential in different states. This is very You see, if you see that the contribution of mineral found in Jas is in northeastern peninsular belt only, that is Chota Nagpur and Odisha and other things. Most of the minerals are confined only to these things. And the central belt, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and I think manganese, bauxite, uranium, limestone, marble, etc. Southern belt, Karnataka Plateau and Tamil Nadu, ferrous minerals and bauxite, and those are only the things mainly. Southwestern belt at Karnataka and Goa, iron ore, garnet, and clay. Northwestern belt, Rajasthan, Gujarat, along the Aravalli Range, non-ferrous minerals, uranium, mica, beryllium, aquamarine, petroleum, gypsum, emeralds. See, GSI and IBM were assigned to the responsibility of conducting. I am talking about now this mineral exploration only mainly. This GSI and IBM were assigned the responsibility of conducting the intensive exploration for coal, iron ore, dolomite, and manganese for proposed steel plants. You see, in India now, only GSA is the only these things. It is doing the exploration work. Oh, even though the state, every state has got the geological division. In those days, earlier state, they were doing some investigation. Now, they are not at all doing any investigation at all. Now, all the geologists are engaged only in issuing permits for different minerals for royalty purposes only. It is not only in Tamil Nadu, in all the other states also, more or less, the same condition prevails. The industrial policy of Government of India. The industrial policy registration of 1958, industries like steel, non-ferrous metals, cement, basic minerals received maximum attention, being the base fuel for a whole range of industries. Apart from this, lignite, copper, zinc, lead ores, gold, silver, pyrites, rock, phosphates, etc. During this century, only high-grade minerals were mined. No importance are given for mineral beneficiation for minerals like copper ore, lead, zinc, iron ore, etc. Even a limestone, we are mining only high-grade limestone, usable for any industries, but we are dumping it, the low-grade limestone, not doing any beneficiation. So only in Tamil Nadu, the ACC were doing some mineral beneficiation for their limestone deposits to reduce the silica content to the tolerable limit in these days. Economic reforms. What has happened in 1991? Government of India made new industrial policy in respect of industrial licensing, foreign investment, foreign agreements. This opened the floodgates of liberalization and globalization of the Indian economy. In the foreign technology and participation in the area of exploration mining. Coal mining in this country is started in 1984, was stopped in 201 due to the poor grade of coal. At the time of closing the mine, the gold mining, gold was only 0.23 grams as per ton of ore. So the KGF mines was closed. It is closed in 201. India was the only Hatti gold mines is working at present in Karnataka. India was the leading producer of diamonds in late 19th century and slipped down to the discovery of diamonds in Africa in 1896. India is producing diamonds, Kullur mines of about 12,000 crore carats of employing more than 66,000 laborers in 38 months in those days. Now I come to, because this development of mineral exploration, mining were started only after post-independence. Before that, it was not much, it has not gained any momentum. So because of this, during the 1900 to 2000, the mining industry was not developed so much. The mining is, I had taken it, the mining in the present, the 2001 to 2030, the economic reforms of 1991 and the national mining policy of 1993 helped the growth of the mining sector. As per the latest statistics, there are 600 coal mines, 35 oil projects, and 66,000 metallurgical mines employing more than 1 million people. Production of selected minerals. Production of the selected minerals in this period was, I have given you these things. They are all million tons. The coal is the maximum. Natural gas they are producing in cubic meters. Crude oil, bauxite, copper, and gold in kilograms. Iron ore, lead, zinc ore, diamond, gypsum, limestone, and phosphorites. The country produces roughly about 100 minerals, which are important sources of earning foreign exchange as it's satisfying domestic needs, titanium, manganese, and bauxite, granite. Natural gas, petroleum, and atomic minerals are exempted from the Ministry of Mines. According to this ministry, India has stepped up the production of chromite, coal, lignite, varieties, iron ore, and production of mica accounts to 60% of world production. Yeah, in those days, the mica from Nellore is very famous. The mica, it comes in the form of books. So they have to split it. So the children and the women labor of the Nellore area, they are expert in splitting it one thou of the inch mica. So Russia used to send the mica to Nellore area and for splitting the purposes and other things. According to this, now they are doing it mica, but some of the micas are doing it underground mines, because where this is a small thickness or very thick, where they are engaging lot of child labor and female labor, I think, in those rat hole mining. This India as position of reserves in key minerals as on 2010. Coal, that is coal million tons. These are all given in Indian tons. 1,13,000 million tons. That is India's rank in the reserve is 4th. Reserve life is about 187 years. Limestone is 12,715 million tons. That they say reserve is only 55 years. That since the unexplored area is much more so far. Iron ore, 7,000 million tons. This is India's rank in 7th position, and reserve is about 47 years. Bauxite, 900 million tons. It is India's reserve is 6th, and it is life is about 66. Varieties, 34 million tons. This is second in the world and 30 years life. Chromite is 66 years, third in world, 24 years. Zinc metal, 11 only million years, and 7th in India's rank, and it is reserved for 8. The manganese ore, 138 million tons, 5th in India's world's reversion, and it is reserved 8 years. Manganese ore, 138, 5th in 47 years. Lead metal, 3 million tons, and 7th in world production, and 26 years. So copper, it is zinc, lead, copper. These are all things very low in India. It is only 4 million tons, and India's rank is nothing in compared to the world. It reserves is only 9 years. Aluminium, 2.3 million tons, and India ranks in 5th, but reserves, they are not able to tell much, because most of the reserves are found in hilly terrain because of the problem of the forest clearance as well as local people interference. They are now able to release the mining leases for the bauxite exploration. The total cultivable area in India is 19 lakhs 45,300 square kilometers. That is 56.78% of the total land area, which is shrinking due to population pressures and rapid urbanization. India has a total water surface area of 3,60,400 square kilometers. India's major mineral resources include coal, fourth largest resource in the world, iron ore, manganese ore, seventh largest resource in the world, as on 2013. Mica, bauxite, fifth largest resource in the world as in 2013. Chromite, natural gas, diamonds, limestone, and thorium. India's oil reserves found in Bombay High off the coast of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Eastern Assam meet 25 of the country's demand. A national level agency, National Natural Resources Management System, was established in 1983 for integrated natural resources management in the country. It is supported by Planning Commission India and Department of Space. Most of the coal mines are operated PSU companies. Some mines are captive mines attached to steel producing companies like Tata's. Since huge capital outlay is required for coal, iron ore, copper, zinc, etc., they are operated by public sector except the iron ore in Goa. Most of the limestone deposits are captive mines of cement and steel plants. Bauxite mines are operated by private aluminum companies, plant owners, as well as by public sector companies. At present, the production and the exploration of copper, zinc, lead, and gold diamonds are a very bleak. Present status of copper mines in Malazgigan, MP will be operated till 2036. K3 copper mines, Rajasthan, will be operable only till around 2035. Banvas mine, Rajasthan, will be operable till 2050. Kolihan mine, Rajasthan, will be operable till 2022. Due to this precarious situation, more thrust needs to be given to for the intensive exploration of copper. At present, copper minerals are imported for copper production. In the meantime, the government has taken sometimes the policy not allowing the import of copper mineral for the other countries. So this area, now they are intensifying the exploration of copper, zinc, lead material. These Adani, the private company groups, they have found a lot of zinc deposit up to the 200 million tons near in Bihar state. Copper content in India is only about 1% in our copper minerals, and the estimated reserve is only 369 billion tons. So the government is giving more importance for exploration of these basic metal minerals. Mining in future, major areas of concern. So the time taken this mining future, it's very difficult to predict now because of government policies and other things. Time taken, the disposal of various applications like mineral concessions, transfer of surface rights, and environmental clearances is a big problem for all the applicants who applied for mining leases in various areas. Cannot mine a mineral in a declared forest area unless mining is allowed, and it is mined to forest eco-balance. Taxation regime pertaining to the mineral sector, which affects the private sector as well as investment in mining. Inadequacy and high cost of infrastructure. State governments requesting mining companies to put up their mineral processing units in their own states, even though their mines is there. When any company wanted to put up a mineral plant for some other purposes in other states, they are not granting the mining lease for such companies. The state governments reserving large potential areas for public sector exploration. This, for example, I can give you in Arilur Bell, The government, state government has reserved more than 400 acres of prime limestone area from 1986 for state exploitation. Because that nobody is now able to put any plant in this area, and they are not de-releasing it, or they are not using it for their own plant. They have got only one plant, Tamilnadu Cement, which is producing there in their state public sector. So this is one of the biggest problem in reserving the large potential area for public sector exploitation. Restrictions imposed by government on the export of high-grade iron ore, manganese, and chromite. That they are restricting it because we are very short of these manganese and chromite. I don't understand why the iron ore they are not allowing it. And due to some government policies and Supreme Court orders, they have stopped for some reasons or other the iron producing area in Goa. Because Goa, some of they are putting the low grade mineral as well as high. Because it is in the coastal belt, they are exporting large quantities to Japan. Now, because of for the past few years, some of the mines have been closed, and practically the mining activities has come to standstill. Multiplicity of legislation related to forest, environment, mining, and labor. This is the thing which is restricting the mining activities, or the companies are afraid to venture in any mining activities in any state throughout India. Notification of national parks in some of the extinct mine areas. This is the problem. See, they say the national parks, this policy has now come. For example, Kudramukku, that is producing largest iron ore mines. Now they have put this, they are going to put notification of national parks. Then it will completely stop the mining area of iron ore, those areas, high-grade iron ore. Strengthening of State Pollution Control Board for effective public hearing and evaluation, and the central and state government should fix the time frame for various claims. They are dragging it. They are not doing that. Because of that, some of the mining leases or some of the renewal of mine leasing, it takes years. Even in the case of Dalmias, it took about 10 years after even renewal to get the renewal of these things. From the date of receipt of mineral concession like prospecting and mining leases, they should fix the date. They are not doing it any correct date for disposal of very mines. This then violation of mine safety, excessive fire, and collapse of phases due to unscientific mining, waste disposal of working and closed mines is a major hazard. For example, the mine safety they have introduced for open cast as well as underground mines. The open cast mine, the fall of sites, the underground mines, fire, inundation, and other things are there. The waste disposal of open cast mines is still a problem. They are not using it, and they leave it as it is. And they expose this from underground mines, metal mines, and gold mines. They have dumped all the processed mineral on the top. And it is, if you take it example, KG mines, it is a cyanide treated dumps. It is that they have not removed it or they have not disposed it of, though it is a hazard for the living people in the KGF area. Land conflicts involving mining projects should be solved at the earliest. Land conflicts and involving mining projects, they are not doing any, the government is not giving permission to solving the problem at the earliest. Mass displacement of people, issues like lack of education, healthcare, pollution, etc. Involvement of cheap labor, exploitation of child labor, etc. In Kodarma mines, for example, in Jharkhand, there's the largest producer of mines, but it is a flaky type of minerals. You are using only child laborers and the female laborers to mine it. So it is just like a rat hole. The people has to crawl over to it and they have to collect it and get it out. That they are doing it lot of things, and in some cases this collapse is there and they don't know they don't know how many people died or survived. For example, I read an article, a collector's statement from Kerala. She is from Jharkhand area. She is she was his family, including 2 sisters, 2 brothers, father and mine. They are engaged in Jharkhand mines. So she came for a meeting in Kerala. When the one student I asked, why you have not done any makeup, madam? She told, sorry, I am from Kodama district, Jharkhand. My brother and father died in the mine collapse in that area, and my sister and myself are left alone for myself. So she came up, studied, and became a collector. And she said, the mica used extensively for in face districts, female districts. So she said, because it is extensively used, I am not doing any makeup with these sticks. This is a very pathetic condition in the mining areas and in India at present. This, before the conclusion, I would like to do the conclusion because it's only about 5 minutes. How is the government going to tackle global warming when they are planning to increase the production of coal to more than 1 billion tons per annum? Now that Coal India said they will be crossing about 1.3 billion tons per annum. I don't know how they are going to get when there's a lot of things for coal, the world logistics, global warming. The government should concentrate on investigation of base metals whose reserves are negligible, from which we are extracting. We're not only in base metal, gold as byproducts. By strengthening the department under exploration agencies, explorations, the government should into exploration agencies extract these metals. How the government is going to solve the problem, huge forest areas where clearance where is required, especially in the Bandalkand, where you have got found recently that the Divis were expert in diamond exploration. I found a large deposit of what's called the volcanic elect for diamond. So how they are going to do, we don't know. When they are going to get it. The government should take initiative for the to stop the employment of children in illegal mines and women. The fire hazards on Indonesian coal mine is very high. Actually, I was told in those days, the Jaria town is under fire because all the illegal coal mines that they are getting fire. They are burning throughout the year in this area. So I conclude this lecture by saying present mining is tense and the future could be imperfect. Thank you for giving me an opportunity for my views, patient hearing for my views. And I thank all the people, especially my director, Mr. Gopal Sami, for having a confidence in me and asking me to prepare this lecture. Thank you all. I also thank Mr. Selvaraj Swami for giving an opportunity to present my presentation. All the members heard a patient hearing all this time, all this for about 1 hour. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. It was an excellent presentation, sir. Actually, we thought you will talk about your Dalmia Cements mines line, but you talked all the things. Whatever mining, really it was general. It was very much interesting. We learned a lot from you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Really, it is a knowledge treat for all of us. Really, you covered all the gamut of mining. Really, it is a wonderful session. We enjoyed your session. Thank you so much. You have taken extensive preparation. That's what, from the slides, what I understood, you have done a lot of preparation. Thank you, sir.
I have to thank my mentor, Gopal Swami, as well as my granddaughter who prepared this PowerPoint, all these things. Okay. She's a graduate I had been to, for the 1 month I went for a wedding at Hyderabad for my grandson. I was spending all the time only with her to prepare this. She has done it. She's a B.Tech from computer science. She's doing her MA. And I thank my sister's daughter who came here to prepare all these things for the presentation.
Nice, sir. Nice. It was a wonderful session. It was we enjoyed the
Now,
session.
I tried to answer some of the questions because of some of the things I have kept it in paper. If I'm not able to answer fully, I will send it to you the things. What are the questions? If they send it to me, I will give the reply also. Question answer you can ask.
Hello.
Ah.
Mr. Lakshminarayanan.
Ah.
Hello.
So, tell me, sir.
Lakshminarayanan. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing, sir. Are you hearing me?
You see, in Japan,
Ah.
when I visited, long back when I visited one international conference on productivity, etc., and one question was asked by some of us.
Ah.
Japan does not have any coal mines.
Which one?
They import only coal.
Yes, coal mines. Okay.
They import only coal.
Ah.
And in spite of the fact that they don't have coal mines and all that, their power production, I mean, the production of power, electricity, is something fantastic. I asked that man, if there is a power cut, what will happen? He was laughing at me. What do you mean by power cut? Suddenly power stops, I said. I said it cannot stop. Even if it stops for a second, the entire economy will collapse. How come they could manage such an efficient way of handling things? This is one. Similarly, I don't think they have any other wars and all that available. Everything they must have been importing. I remember they have been importing some metallic things from Bangalore. Even Dalmia cement, Dalmia cement also has been exporting to them. And does it not show their efficiency of operations, or the requirement is low, or whatever will be the reason? Now, if you, as you say, the limestone also depleting, the copper is depleting, aluminum is depleting, what shall we do now?
Sir, now, as I tell you, the unexplored area is much. We are not there because of the forest cover. They are not giving permission to explore all the uncovered these areas. If you see, about 60% of the area is covered by forest area. They have to do a lot of exploration work. And apart from that, now some of the big group, private group, as I told you earlier, they have found that 200 million tons of zinc in Bihar. So now they have to engage a lot of, not only GSI, the foreign exploration division, they have to do that to advance exploration. So for one thing, Japan, they were depending more on the atomic power for the generation of power and other things. As a matter of fact, when I went to Switzerland, I asked them how they are doing. There is no power cut. They are depending the entire thing only on atomic power. So for generation of electricity and other things. Now, if they do the intensive exploration, if they do that, especially this, they have to, how they are going to do this, that we don't know. The government policy we have to do. Even they wanted to introduce a lot of fauna and flora. They are national parks. If they are national parks, I have told you, Gudramukh area. That Gudramukh is the biggest iron ore, the highest high-grade iron ore. If they close all these things, what they are going to do? They cannot do that. So this government policy is very important in developing the area, and more or less, this apart from the government policies, the government, the people's mentality is very bad. They never even in Dalmia, you said they never allow you to one mine because the explosion is, sound is there, vibration is there, and other things.
That is the thing, Mr. Lakshminarayanan. The rules and regulations on mining are becoming so stringent and all
so strict. That's
nobody
why
can work like that.
That's why I concluded present mining is tense and future could be perfect. See, these are all the things, the government policies, and not only government policies, the people's attitude we have to change. Otherwise, it is very difficult in the mining industry. And
Very true. Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening, Gopal Swami sir. Good evening, Gopal Swami sir.
Yes,
And Lakshminarayanan sir. I think more than anything, like having your presence, I think the Er.S. I think is a very.
Oh, thank you very much, Krishna Kumar. Oh, thank you very much.
Sir, thank you, sir. Krishna Kumar, sir. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you. We are very happy to see you, sir, after a long time.
I tell you,
welcome.
Krishna Kumar is a very ardent admirer of myself as a geologist.
No, he is awarded best engineer by our IEA Tiruchirappalli local center, sir. He is our best engineer.
Because moreover, when you are in Malco,
our
you used to call me for interview for the selection of the mining engineer, even when you was in Malco.
Our mentor is Gopal Swami.
How was my presentation?
Yeah, like Lakshminarayanan sir, you talked about one very specific thing. We have got like limestone resource for 55 years, right?
No, that is 55 years. They saying they for steel grade limestone also. Lot of deposits are there. If you take it, in the Andhra Pradesh, the biggest producer, you can put any number of cement plants there. This that's a long limestone is there. So there are areas that they are doing it, but some of the minerals, high grade minerals are the low silica, that is 2 to 3%. Unfortunately, I know I went for explorations or identification of minerals in Rajasthan. One gentleman who is a lawyer by profession, he is having how he got it 800 acres high grade limestone. So if you go there, if it is high, what is the silica? Silica is only 3%. He has covered it and he is not using it, and he is making it only lime. He is not selling it to other countries. These are all the things, some of the things which has got locked up, these things also. But limestone also, I tell you, for example, in Dalmiapuram, we have rejected less than 60% calcium carbonate. What we are going to do? At least 2 to 3% they are doing it ACC, Madhukare, silica. So when one day will come, we have to see for that this restoration of these mineral these things, enrichment of the low grade metals. That is very important. This especially they tell you the gold in India, because why they have closed these things, even though it is more than 3.5 kilometers depth, the KGF, they were getting only 0.23% gold in 1 ton of mineral. So when I had been to Alaska, I visited a closed mine, which was closed during the Second World War, which has now become a national park. They were producing 25 grams of gold per ton of mineral. Out of they closed it because there was no buyer in those days in Second World War. They closed it. Now they cannot open it because it has become a national park. These are the things that we are going to do. That Hatti is the only gold mine. Now they are in Rajasthan and everything, they have developed a lot of exploration. They have done the gold exploration. And this only the base metals, we have to be very careful in that. We are importing it. If it is going to come, we have to do that. Not only base metal, why we are telling we are also getting gold and silver in the base metal reclamation also. This is base metal is also associated with gold and silver, copper.
Lakshminarayanan is Director of Mine Safety and all other government very senior officials. They are all mining people.
Mining people.
Mining people. Could they not influence the government to have proper rules and regulations so that mining industry can flourish?
This their object only the Director of Mineral Safety. Mine safety is only for safety of the mines. They will not go beyond that. Only one institution they can do that. Indian Bureau of Mines, they are looking after the more that development, exploration and improvement and other things. That is the department they can do it. Apart from that, they have individually now separated from GSA. Each ore they have developed their corporations. They have to do a lot of intensive exploration as well as development. That's the problem.
Finally, the point is Our total Indian attitude has to change.
At a stage. And
That is all.
they have to more
Yes,
concentrate.
Mr. Selvaraj. Ultimately, that is the only thing possible, but when and how it is going to happen, I don't know.
What
Not
comes in the way is definitely the policy. Say, for example, like we have so much of bauxite reserves, like, the typical story, what happened to Vedanta, the Nyamgiri Hills. So much of bauxite, and incidentally, they set up the alumina processing factory also. But finally, the permission couldn't go through. So the entire investment has gone this thing. Because of whatever the afforestation. And recently I met a set of Japanese guys from Sumitomo. They do so much business. One of their business vertical is only selling wood. Incidentally, when they had come here to India in 2018, they visited our plant also. I had taken them to our Arilur plant. And then I told, how your government is allowing to sell wood, because, it is taking out the forest and other things. They have got a very clear policy. If there is some 100 acre, let us assume, in 100 acre you plant it, at any point of time, you have to maintain 75 acres. So 25 acres on rotation, you go on taking it out. And so that the wood log, then I asked, what is the dimension of only Sumitomo's business? He said it's a too small a business in Sumitomo. Then I just told, just what is the dimension? They told it's internationally, it's a $10 billion business, only the wooden log. And I was very surprised. After our meeting, they stayed back. I asked them, where, we have to meet our customers. I asked, where are your customers? Our customers are in, from anywhere from, Trichy, Dindukal, right across to Tuticorin. Our wooden log is imported from Japan. I mean, their policy is so clear. Environment is also not disturbed, but at the same time, the industry also flourish. I mean, it was so this thing, and we have got so much abundant land. Maybe the policy portion, and to that extent, the political involvement and so that the public is also convinced. I think that is more important. Otherwise, whatever the mineral reserves, what we talked, so much is locked because of this, afforestation or forestation. And the public, habitation, that unlocking, in my opinion, is a big challenge. That's what you also had indicated in your conclusion, I think.
I'll tell you, for example, I know one group of people, industrialists, Penna Cement Group, they have put up a plant in Godavari area. I think somewhere, they have constructed the aluminum plant. Applying for in the coastal area, these things, they are not able to, political reason as well as the people who are living there in this things, they are not able to grant that lease. The plant is lying idle for more than 5 years, and they are planning to import bauxite from other countries, at least to run the plant. That is the present situation regarding the bauxite mine, because the bauxite was mostly found in the high elevated areas. So they are not forest as well as the people living there. So these are all the problems. How they are going to solve it, we don't know. In this thing, they want to develop fauna and flora. They wanted to have national parks also.
Hey, Krishna Kumar, nice seeing you. I haven't seen you so far in this. How are you?
Sorry, sir?
How are you? Getting along fine?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you, sir, with all your blessings, sir.
At least I think Selvaraj should be thanked so that we can all meet now.
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. Because I have not met Krishna Kumar after his departure from Dalmiapuram.
No, suddenly he had to leave suddenly. Unfortunately, only I could also could not meet him when he left. And afterwards only I could meet. So nice, Krishna Kumar. I think we should, Selvaraj should call us for such meetings.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Sir.
Sir, mute, unmute பண்ணுங்க sir. Mic unmute பண்ணுங்க sir. Selvaraj sir.
So, mic.
Sorry, sir. I have to.
Gopal Swami, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, I have a question, sir. We are basically from BHL. We are manufacturing mainly coal-based plants from up to 800 megawatts, even we have the capacity of 1000 megawatts. Our main business is coal-based plants. But Government of India policy migrated towards renewable energy. You told India has a lot of research in coal. But fourth or fifth like that, you told my presentation, I remember. In that, what is going to be the coal industry future, sir? Mining coal industry.
Coal industry, they say that Coal India said they are going to produce 1.3 billion tons of coal per annum. You see, this I don't know how. And the problem is, we in Tamil Nadu, we are at the end of that Indian corner. So the transportation and other things also, these things. And moreover, and now most of the people in southern India, some of the industries, they were importing coal from Indonesia. Now they have also stopped exporting the coal. Their coal they are getting from surface. They are getting a lot of these things. And apart from that, the government also, they are selling the coal, which a lot of 35% ash content. See, the burnt coal also they are selling it. On sandstone also they are coming in. The purity of the coal is not that much also. So that's a problem they are going to, but I don't know how they are going to sell it, whether they are going to export it. And this global warming, they are going to this. The India said we are going to reduce the emission and other things. How they are going to do, we don't know. The coal policy of the government, we don't know now. We cannot say anything now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Actually, we nearly now 40% of our production gone to renewable area. And slowly our boiler had also gone down. That's what is going to be called. Yeah, that's what my doubt.
That's a problem.
Okay. Good. Thank you so much, sir. Really, it was an excellent session, sir. Today we learned a lot from you. Thank you. You have taken a lot of pain in preparing a lot of PowerPoints, and you shared many thoughts to us. Really, you shared many thoughts in mining area. Really, it was open, open learning from you.
So I tell you, in ancient times, in these things, all the people, all the literatures which is not connected in mining also says about Ashtrashastra, this Panini's grammar, and even some of the Vedas also it is coming about the scientific exploration, and lot of information is there. But we are not able to study that and get this future. But on the other hand, why the Germans took a lot of Sanskrit literature? Because they have got a lot of scientific value they found in those literature. We are not exploring all these things, and we are confining to something due to various reasons. That's the problem.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Karupasamy, sir.
Sir, Gopalsamy, sir.
Yeah.
Gopalsamy, sir, and Krishna Kumar and Lakshminarayanan, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are happy to see you all today during this our webinar presentation. Today's lecture is very informative and elaborative, sir. We are happy to hear your lecture. Thank you for your excellent presentation, sir.
So kind of you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for arranging this kind of
Selvaraj,
informative lecture.
I even feel if it is a person-to-person PowerPoint presentation, would have been more interesting. Isn't it?
Offline will be very, very excellent, sir. But this is also very good today.
Mr. Selvaraj,
we started, sir, somewhere after the pandemic, we switched out to virtual mode because, but we are able to get experts from around the globe, sir. That is an advantage. And people from Sri Lanka, from Nepal, many people are attending from throughout the world. That is another thing. All over India. So another advantage. People can share thoughts to all our people. That's what. That's another advantage.
That is correct.
I think, Mr. Selvaraj, you can,
yes, sir.
As I told you, we can print out, make booklets on this subject, whatever he has presented.
Okay, sir.
At a later date.
Yeah, future we'll have it, sir. We'll have it, sir. Physical.
Yeah.
So Selvaraj, when I had been, my daughter is in Alaska.
Okay.
So Gopalsamy knows that. She is in Anchorage. So when I had been there, she asked me, why don't you prepare a small write-up regarding how the geology is very useful in developing a country's civilization. I have on geological mineral based. I wrote a small note. We prepare a note regarding the development of all the things in each state-wise, according to the minerals available in particular states. No, I think, I don't know whether if it is available, I will send you a copy to you. You can go through that.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Really, it was excellent session, sir. We shall move to the next agenda, sir. Actually, our I request our Honorary Secretary, Engineer Dr. Kevin R. Kumar, to announce the next week's program. Kevin R. Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all.
Good
evening to all. It's a wonderful session presented by our former General Manager Mines, Dalmia Cement, Sri Er.S.Lakshminarayanan, sir. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. Thank you very much. And it's time for us to announce the next week lecture program. Next week lecture program on 8th March. It will be on significance of millimeter wave. It's an IT-based lecture. And the speaker will be from MAM College of Engineering. She was the professor and head of Department of Information Technology. And the speaker is Dr. G. Kalpana Devi, professor and head Department of IT, MAM College of Engineering. I request everyone to share this information to all your friends, colleagues, and you can invite all. This lecture program is open to all, and there is no subscription, nothing is required. And I invite all to be present and grace the program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kevin R. Kumar. Is added to his announcement, I say that Computer Society of India Trichy chapter is also joining. I request, we are sending invitation to all the institutions and all our members, both the institution members. I request all of you to participate and get benefited. Yeah. And today's program was an excellent program by Dr. Engineer Lakshminarayanan, sir. Really, it was a very opening, eye-opener to all of us, all our IE members. We are very much thankful to Engineer Anirudh Prasad Yadav, FIE, from IEA Kathmandu, Nepal. We are Kotaro Manga Padi from IEA Visakhapatnam. The people from all over India, that's what, in Nepal also. Mr. Narayan Swami, Kundal Swami. We are also thankful by the presence of our past chairman, Engineer Samidas, Engineer Gopala Swami, sir, I would say, person who began today's topic webinar.
Thank you.
And yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Engineer Dr. S. Karupasamy, our past chairman. Our present chairman, Engineer B. Balasubramanian, GM, General Manager, BHR, he is also there in this thing, and he has not come to the thing. And he was one of the participants.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, you can tell a few words, sir. Balasubramanian, sir.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Sir, Gopal sir, he is our present chairman, sir.
No, I have seen him now.
Yeah. Sir, actually, see, this is a very good eye-opener program for all our engineering fraternity. In fact, mining is a very, very different sector, which is gaining a lot of momentum now. And also in India, it is going in a very, very big way. As you have been mentioning about these diamond mines as well as bauxite mines everywhere. See, the challenges are very many. And as you have been mentioning, we have to take care of the environmental 360-degree approach is required. Everything is very, very important. Because nowadays strictures are very, very high, not like earlier years. Just like that, a mine cannot be started, and that illegal mining, curbing that in illegal mining also is very, very difficult. Because see, everybody is improving on technology, so we need to have much more technology to counter that. So that is the scenario today.
That is very important.
And with the invent of more exotic metals, definitely the mining is gaining a lot of importance. And when world is moving towards a lot of development, new metals, new minerals, everything is very dearer to us, and we have to definitely go through that. So on all these aspects, the presentation given was very opening, and this will give a lot of ideas for all youngsters. So I really thank Engineer Lakshminarayanan sir and his mentor and Mr. Gopal Swami, everybody, for making this very good informative one and a very thought-provoking one for making helping us to take it much more forward. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Balasubramanian sir, our chairman. Thank you for your nice notes about mining and other related today's topic. Really, it was a very good information over and about this. And we are very much happy the presence of Mr. Engineer G. Madhuramani, chairman, Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering, Trichabli chapter, Engineer Suresh Kumar, Granite Secretary, Institute of Welding, Trichabli branch, IA committee members, Dr. Titus, and we are thankful to Engineer R.A. Krishna Kumar, Director, Dalmia Cements Limited, and also best engineer from our IA local center. And also he shared his thoughts on mining area. Thank you, sir, for being present with us and sharing your thoughts with us. And we are also thankful to all the participants and invitees throughout the world. There is Engineer Rajesh Kumar, Engineer Deepa Ramesh, Engineer Denuga Ramesh, Engineer Edwin Brown, Dr. Edwin Brown, Engineer Durai Murugan, Engineer Guru Iqbal Chaugan, Engineer K. Selvarajan, Engineer M.S. Prabhakara, Engineer Nitya Jain. Thank you one and all for joining with us. And moving on to the next agenda is a vote of thanks. I call upon Engineer Suresh Kumar, Honorary Secretary, Indian Shop Building, Tishampally Branch. Sir Suresh Kumar, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all of you. So today's topic is mining past, present, future by our IAI Tishampally Local Center, which was delivered by our most senior geologist, Engineer Mr. Lakshminarayanan. This is actually an interesting topic. He started from ancient times, that means from Iron Age to present and future. Actually, before independence, the country was depending on imports. Now, after independence, there are almost 100 minerals are produced in our country, which are important sources of earning foreign exchange. Mining industry in our country is a major economic activity, which contributes significantly to the economy of India. I thanks to Mr. Lakshminarayanan for his valuable input and your dedicated activities on this mining industry. And I thanks to Mr. Gopalswamy for his welcoming address and deep discussions with Mr. Lakshminarayanan by Gopalswamy, Mr. Krishna Kumar, and Mr. Selvaraj. I thanks to all the participants and IA, and thanks to Mr. Selvaraj for his arrangements of this program. Thanks to one and all.
Thank you, Engineer Suresh Kumar. And sir, before concluding, I want to share some information on the chat window. That is one Mr. Narayan Swamy, he has told about an interesting topic. And Mr. Madhuramani has told that as a senior most geologist, Sri Lakshminarayanan sir brought out the developments of mining activities from 10th century onwards to India. Updation of latest facilities and present activities are presented neat and manner. And one Mr. Anit Prasad from the Kathmandu, he is told thanks for sharing your valuable insight on the topic. That is Anirudh Yadav from Kathmandu. And Denuga Ramesh, thank you so much for your insights. And Deepa Ramesh, thank you so much, sir, for the excellent program. Deeply appreciate the extensive effort and the groundwork done by you, sir. So these are the comments, positive comments about your presentation, sir. Thank you so much, sir. With the permission of our Dr. Engineer Gopalswamy and the present our chairman, Engineer Balasubramanian sir, shall we close the program, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All the best. Thank you. Especially thanks to our Gopalswamy sir and Lakshminarayanan sir for excellent presentation today. Thank you. Good night all.